Good morning, peace, grand rising. I wanted to start this video off today by saying something I wanted to say yesterday. One of the most important lessons my mom ever told me was if you can't help yourself, there's no way you can help somebody else. Paraphrasing, of course, but it was something along those lines. I can't remember what it was that made her, deliver that message to me. I live my life by it now, which is part of the reason it's been so easy for me to isolate and distance myself from other people. It's because of that one thought that always came back to me my whole life. You can't help nobody else if you're not trying to help yourself. You can't help yourself. So with that being said, I think you should keep that in mind also when it comes to, this is in addition to my video from yesterday, when it comes to trying to heal yourself from depression or negative energies or distress in general, when it comes to things that are happening in the world, the main purpose should be to help yourself, to benefit yourself. And like I told at least one person, that's probably going to be hard to do with your current situation. And hopefully you can find a way to work through that. What if we had a community of people, especially us? What if we had a community where if we were going through something, we can kind of isolate ourselves within the community, have some of our family kind of take on some of our responsibilities while we deal with that, and then come back into the community, and then we could do the same for them. For me, that's my ultimate goal. That's one of my goals. So let me say that, because I don't really know where I'm headed in life right now, but I feel like that's one of the things I'm gonna be able to do. Once I get myself fully situated, I'm gonna be able to be like, all right, now, whatever you going through, whatever responsibilities that you got that I can take on logically or sensibly, I'll do that for you. Because now I'm in the space to do so. And that's probably how it was back when we were once a community. It was probably exactly like that. So, work on yourself. Stay focused on yourself, despite everything that's going on in the world right now. I feel like a lot of that shit is done on purpose in the first place, for the reason of making people, especially, depressed, tired, angry, pissed off. I think it's for that reason. And it don't even have to be for real. It can just be people who the so-called elite will call lower class, poor, destitute, or whatever. The whole system is designed to make you angry, pissed off. Look at them and see what they got and want what they got, because I used to be like that too. I used to look at my favorite TV shows and actors and rappers and be like, damn, they got all of that. They using it wrong. I have way better ways that I would use it. But look what they got though. And that's the thing. What they got, I feel like I could use it better than they using it. So I'll always compare myself, damn, look at this. I don't got no money like that for real. They got all the money. I wish I had that kind of money. And that would just send me down in a spiral. I would see things going on in the media, the news, and I would be like, damn, I got the solution to that problem, but nobody's going to listen to me. First of all, because a lot of people are trained since childhood to think in a certain way and to not question any other avenues of thought, any other schools of thought, no other ideologies. As a matter of fact, in school, you're not even taught that there are other avenues of thought to. There are multiple avenues of thought to a particular problem, or you know what I'm saying, an idea. Right? You don't even know that there are alternate histories. You don't know that there are multiple solutions to a problem, multiple ways to get to the same point. Just like when you're driving around the neighborhood, or when you're, you know what I'm saying, walking around the neighborhood or whatever. If you want to get from point A to point B, you know, just from being in that, just from your experiences, that there is this way to get there. There's also this way to get there. There's this back alley way to get there. School don't prepare you for that. The society at large don't prepare you for that. But see, if you listen to some of the knowledge that your parents are dropping, you might find out that it's actually, what I'm saying is actually true. That there are multiple ways, there are alternate histories, there are ulterior motives when it comes to people and policies and ideas and motives and you know what I'm saying? Like there's ulterior motives. Like, for example, I think the reason my mom told me that I can't help anyone else before I help myself was because at the young age that I was when she told me, I must have been around like anywhere from 14 to 16, maybe somewhere around that age right there. And I remember I used to cut grass and rake leaves and all of that for a living. And I had some other dudes from the block that was with me. This was back in Detroit. Had some other dudes on the block that was with me, or that would come with me at least one time, a couple of times maybe. And one time, I guess I had made a whole lot of money, but they weren't there with me to make the money. They weren't actually out in the field cutting the grass or raking the leaves with me. But they had somehow convinced me, well, we are a team, so I think I should still get paid too. And me being the kind of person that I am, was like, yeah, that makes sense. So, dipped in my pocket and broke them off. That kind of person I was. But my mom told me, those boys didn't do no work, yet got the benefit. And they knew that too. They knew that I was the kind of person to be like, yeah, I mean, because that's how I am, yeah, I'm going to break you off. So I had less resources than I would have had to take care of my family, which is what I wasn't doing when I was making money in the first place. I was a selfish little brat. So I kind of took the whole take care of myself before others to an extreme a little bit. But I think she was right, because them boys never broke me off when, you know what I'm saying, they would go out there with rake leaves, none of that. I never got broke off for being part of the team, but I did it for them. Life, man. We got to be careful with life, man. It's wild. It's crazy out here, man. And if you don't know how to navigate, which is part of the reason I'm making these videos, it's because I want to make sure I'm navigating in the correct way. Make sure I'm navigating, what's the way I can say it? With sight as clear as possible. And it might help someone somewhere do the same thing. You don't have to follow my steps to the T or anything like that. But it don't matter how you got the message. Did you get the message? That's the whole point. So that's it for now. This video didn't have no point for real. I just wanted to kind of speak my mind before all these thoughts get kind of backed up here. So I'm about to get my day started. I woke up this morning and I seen on the app that there's an opportunity for me to make a decent amount of money today. I wasn't going to do it. Yesterday before I went to sleep, I was like, all right, today's going to be Sunday. I'm probably going to spend most of my day inside today. But I looked on the app when I woke up this morning and I seen that there was an opportunity to make a decent amount of money today. So I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and hop on that right there. So I'm going to do that real quick. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning right now. So I'm gonna do a little morning shift. This is Uber Eats. I'm talking about the Uber Eats job I'm talking about. I'm gonna do a morning shift for about a couple hours, make a decent amount of money, come back, recharge my bike, recharge myself, and then I'm gonna do the 8 o'clock shift because there's another opportunity for money to be made at 8 o'clock as well at night. So today's gonna be productive in a way of making money for me anyway. I've been working on my story that I told some of y'all about. I'm gonna give you more details about that once I put more of it together. Right now, I'm bouncing back and well, I shouldn't actually be doing this either. I'm bouncing back and forth between the outlining phase and the writing the chapter phase. I think what I should do first is outline everything first, and then start writing out the story, kind of story of my life too. If I had outlined, if I really sat down and thought about consequences and actions and things like that, my life wouldn't have turned out the way it did. But my story is unique. For real. Makes me wonder about a couple of other things too, like what was the thing I was thinking about in the shower? For some reason, things happen for me for my benefit no matter what I do. And I can't, my sister said it, Nisha said it, she said, bro, you protected. And when I read it, I heard that ringing in my ears to let me know that that's real, that's something deeper. She means it. Maybe she might not even mean it deeper than what she did, but the meaning for me is deeper than what it is. Because when I tell you, I've gotten out of so many situations, I've gotten into so many situations based off of my luck. And luck for me is starting to sound like spiritual protection, or starting to feel like spiritual protection, for real spiritual guidance. Because things always work out in my favor. Sometimes some of the things I ask for come to light or become reality. For example, I'll tell you this one thing. I remember one time I was so down bad, like miserable. I was living in South Carolina, living in this single wide trailer. And that part of my life wasn't what had me so depressed, for real, because I actually liked it. I liked the fact that I had my own space and I had no upstairs neighbor, no downstairs neighbor. And the neighbors who were next to me, their trailers were pretty far away, relative far distance away. So that part I was cool with. But it goes back to the whole me comparing myself to everyone else, what everyone else got. And I started getting real depressed. And I was sitting there and I was listening to music. And at that time, I had thought that the universe or God or the Most High or whatever you call this intelligence, this force, this energy, whatever, wasn't really listening to my request, wasn't responding to my request. You know how people say, I asked God and he didn't do nothing for me. I was blind to the fact that things were actually working in my favor. Anyway, so I got to a point where I was like, I'm going to ask the devil and see what he does, see what it does. And when I tell you I did that, I asked the devil, or asked whatever negative frequency or demonic frequency was listening, or what demonic negative spirit entity was listening, also answers too. So be careful what you speak about. Be careful what you ask for. Because from that point, I think I can probably pinpoint that as a definite pinpoint. From that point, my life got significantly. I mean, I went through the most weird, down bad, crazy shit you could possibly think of. Like, probably not as bad as what I was doing in Alaska, but damn near close. Like, life is weird like that, man. But it also raises this important point. The world speaks to those who are able to listen. It also speaks to those who speak clearly to it. So to go back to my first point that I made, if you want to do something for yourself, if you want to help yourself, be that become peaceful inside or become abundant in resources or in friends or family or anything like that, you first have to ask that with authentic intention. You have to truly mean it. When I asked the universe about what I wanted, I was authentic in asking. When I asked the so-called devil or the demon or the negative frequency, I was authentically asking. I really wanted this thing that I wanted. So you have to authentically ask the universe. But then you also have to have the awareness to see, to peep its response. And it won't always be in the way that you want it to, which is how that dark side shit started happening for me in the past few years. I wasn't aware of the fact that the dark side was telling me the light side was provided for you already, but you want to listen. Now I'm going to give you what you want. You're not going to peep it. You're going to go through some weird shit. But in the end, you also going to see I gave you what you wanted. And I managed to make it out of that, man. By the skin of my teeth, I guess. Lucky. Spiritually protected. Whatever the case may be. I'm not complaining, man. I'm glad I'm able to see it now. That's it for me this morning. Let me go ahead and take out this trash and get the day started. I hope y'all are prosperous, fine, enjoy your day, do what it is you do. Hit me up if you want to talk. I should probably start hitting y'all up too. But I have so many thoughts on my mind, it's hard to maintain a conversation. Especially when I'm dealing with multiple persons, like everybody, all these personalities are different from my own. And I think I might have what they call ADHD, which is really just an overstimulated mind for real. So maybe once I start relaxing my mind a little bit more, I'll be able to reach out to y'all too. We'll see what happens in the future. I don't make no claims, no for predictions or anything like that. I'm out of here. Peace.